orgasm of fury.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? And a lot of people probably will start to wonder, why am I so adamant on just not being patient with fanboy logic? It's like this: when it comes to the gaming industry, while pro Nintendo, pro Sony, pro Microsoft people are bickering, arguing with one another, and we have the rise of the incessantly insufferable Sony ponies, I see it like this. You guys are talking about first party exclusives, right? How that makes the system something to be sold versus another one. Yeah, we get that, but you gotta understand, with these AAA titles, they don't just come out like hotcakes. They just not like, it's not like witches brew. They can just whip them up like sorcery. No, these games take time. And in between the time you're waiting for your AAA game, guess what's happening? You're playing mostly multi-platform games, aren't you? Because if you got a PlayStation, your AAA title is pretty much done once the campaign is over, with the exception of what's coming with Ghost of Tsushima, right? They got a lot of good stuff coming with that. Hopefully it's more than just good on paper. I can't wait. I want to see. Anyway, I just reminded myself I gotta finish that game. So anyway, it's like this: you're gonna be playing a lot of multi-plats in the meantime, and while the pro fans are and fanboys are bickering, arguing, and then we got the Sony fanboys thinking their specs are better than PC specs and blah, blah, blah. They're trying to use price against you, trying to guilt shame you for actually being able to afford to pay to pay to play on a format that gives you better performance. You know, people like keyboard and mouse. Some people like controllers. Hey, to each their own. But understand the limits and the risks of both formats. You know, the pros and cons. Understand that. But what I'm trying to say is, it's like this: while you're bickering with one another, these multi-platform third-party developers are finding ways to preferably put their foot up your rear end financially all the time. And they are making lackluster multi-platform games. And I want people to stop talking about just their exclusives for a second to realize, in between these exclusives, you're going to be playing multi-platform games. And the multi-platform games are going down the toilet. I mean, case in point, Avengers is trash. You know, people were talking about the whole Spider-Man exclusivity thing. Now you understand why Sony is putting up with that, because they already knew the game was trash. Sony knows the game is trash. They need to at least give you a reason to buy it on their system, on their platform, and buy a PlayStation 4 by putting the Spider-Man thing into it. And if you buy it on any other operating system, be it an Xbox, be it PC or anything else, you're an idiot. And I mean that, and yeah, I mean that. It's like this: don't pay for a game that you know is going to have more features on another platform system. Why would you pay the same price? And the fact that they charge you the same price is just some F right there. That's some BS right there. Plain and simple, just like that. So I see it like this: Avengers is trash. It's a loot and shooter. It's a play to win. The graphics are terrible in the game. There's a lot of glitching. There's a lot of stuff in the game. The game pretty much is very repetitive. Very repetitive. Very, very repetitive. Okay? It's like Anthem levels of bad. So go ahead, keep Spider-Man. I wouldn't buy the game on the PlayStation, and I have a PlayStation 4. I would not buy that game. I would not. And then look at Madden 21. The fans are starting to realize what I've been saying for years. EA is complacent. This is why they bought the NFL license, to be complacent and sell you the same barely altered garbage they've been selling you for years. Because if 2K and Visual Concepts were still making the 2K NFL series, that means EA would have to actually do some R&D and some developing to stay competitive with the competitors. So they bought out the competition just to sell you garbage. And you are that much of an NFL shill that you will buy football over and over and over and over again. Even the user score on these games are dropping right now, and it's dropped in. I was looking at it like maybe they just review bombing Madden, but no, the fans are tired of this crap. They're just done with it. I've been done with it for a long time. So I noticed that this game is just not. It doesn't feel great as a football game. They don't make much changes. Number one, because I'm from a time where they actually had a game to actually measure it against. Like the 2K series actually made improvements. They tried that first. I remember when they first came out, they tried the first person football. It was trash. Never tried it again. Okay, they've been adding other improvements to the presentation, to the tackle detail, just to the depth of the roster. And they was like, you know what? They was like, oh, okay, EA, I see how it is. You're so fixated on the Madden name. We're gonna show you that we have a good football game. We're gonna drop the price down, and we're gonna put it down to $19.99, so you can get it in your hands, and you can see for this price, you got a high quality football game. You can trust the 2K series. And that destroyed EA. That destroyed Madden that year. The one with Ray Lewis on the cover. That one there. EA was pissed. They had to drop their game from $50 to $30 to compete with 2K5. Yes, Madden 2005 had to drop down $20 to compete with 2K5. Oh, EA was not having that. They were like, okay, so we're going to buy the exclusive NFL license. No other game can come out. They just pulled the rug right from under the 2K series. And since then, they've been giving you nothing but garbage. And you can say, well, this Madden's good, this Madden good. Yeah, there's been some bright spots. I'm not saying it's like complete garbage, but it's been overall garbage. But it's the only NFL game out there, so you're playing it because it's the only NFL game out there. And this is why I said NFL shills. So anyway, that's another one. We have Avengers, a multi-platform that's garbage. We have Madden, a multi-platform that's garbage. Look at even the Sim series. How the fans are pissed off at that because EA, what they do, they stripped basic features that were a custom to the past Sims games, and gave you a bare bones game for the same price that you will usually buy a standard PC game for, but then they want you to buy everything that used to come standard in the game. Yes, the fans were not happy about that, and they are laying into them. That's another one too. And it's EA, right? Am I getting warm enough for you? Is it there? Is that warm enough? EA is a big problem with that. Look how they handled the Battlefront series. But no, keep arguing amongst one another about first party exclusives, knowing that first party exclusives don't come out with the frequency that multi-platforms do. And if we just let these multi-platform games just keep mounting up the heaps of trash and their microtransactions, when I say trash, it ain't just that it's a bad game. They just do really trash tactics like microtransactions, Let that just keep mounting up. Let it just keep mounting up. But no, keep fighting that pro war. Keep fighting your Team Jacob, your Team Edward war, your Twilight war with these consoles. Meanwhile, these third-party developers are putting their proverbial foot up your rear end. on a daily. On a daily. They are. Remember, look at a lot of PlayStation fanboys, and look at a lot of a lot of them. They talk about these exclusives when they're trying to make a talking point. But if you look at a lot of their play rosters and they play efforts, you'll see that they are predominantly playing multi-platform games. I looked into what Gamester said. Gamester is absolutely correct. So it's only a talking point. So I don't get it. If they are only playing multi-platform games, they must be either complacent with the BS that's going on. They must be complacent with it. They gotta be. Because like I said earlier in this video, they are putting these third-party developers are starting to put their proverbial foot up your rear end. Financially, look at 2K series. Oh, it's going to be $70 now on the PS5 and Xbox Series X. And then Call of Duty Cold War, $70. Okay? $70. Really? And then a lot of people were like, well, like one of my subscribers said, well, the developments to price is going up. The fact that the game hasn't gone up to 70 and stayed the same. I was like, look, I'm gonna repeat what what's the guy name? I mentioned him on Sean Layden, the former CEO of PlayStation, said we have to find a way to tell high quality AAA and compelling AAA experiences. We have to find a way to tell these stories with a smaller budget and a smaller scale, but still get that quality across. This needs to happen because even he knows that the high budget AAA cinematic experiences are not a sustainable way of making games for the long run. It's just not, like, from a financial standpoint. But everybody wants to continue to just fight over whose box of wires and plastic is better than the other. And you're fighting the wrong fight. Because meanwhile, for the most part, multi-platforms are going to be what holds everybody down like glue when it comes to your console of choice. Nintendo don't put out Super Mario every few months. Hell, they put out a major Super Mario once every life cycle, maybe. Like, they put out like once or twice, depending on how long the life cycle go. I don't see no sequel for Super Mario Odyssey coming for the Switch. And people gonna be like, the Breath of the Wild 2. That's all unused assets they couldn't fit inside Breath of the Wild 1. Okay? That's all it is. It's not a sequel. Like Majora's Mask is leftovers of Ocarina of Time. So you don't get much of these games coming in all the time. These games, these first-party exclusives from PlayStation 4 are from how many years out? They dropped in 2014, 2013, the PlayStation 4. It's been a long life cycle. A lot of these games were in development for quite some time. All right? Before the system even was released. So, yeah, these games aren't going to be out. You're going to be playing multi-platforms, and you should give a damn about how the multi-platforms are coming, the quality of the multi-platforms, because these are the life cycle of consoles. Okay? They are the life cycle of consoles. And first-party exclusives are the connective tissue. So yes, connective tissue is important, but the life cycle is very important as well, because it's a sustainable ecosystem of the games you're going to be playing. So if you don't care about that, I don't know what to tell you, but you need to really pay attention to that instead of fighting amongst one another. So a lot of you guys be owning multiple platforms to play on, but you only like to pretend to be on the more popular kids team because it makes you look cool online and you feel like you belong. And I'm telling you, it's a game system and it's not all that. Okay, it's not worth all that. And I was listening to Broken Games HDR say that, gaming is a selfish hobby. Yeah, that may be all well and good, but these companies are more selfish than you. So you can cry until the cows come home broken, and no one's going to care because they care about making their money. They don't give a damn about your feelings. They don't give a damn about my feelings. And I try to tell people that. But if you press on them enough about something that is pertinent, like microtransactions, lack of quality, a lot of things, they will have to listen. I mean, look at Halo Infinite. People went off on that game because that build was not worthy of the power that they are talking about when it comes to the performance. It's not that's not a build. But this is the result of Microsoft doing something really stupid, and instead of releasing Halo Infinite as a tail end into the Series X, so it can go out, to the Xbox One, so it can go out with some sort of bang, they decided to make it multi-platform. They could have been like, you know what? This is the Xbox One's final exclusive, Halo Infinite. But as a surprise to those who like to update into the Series X, this game will be available in the future via smart delivery. So when you update the damn game, you will be able to get a enhanced or a Series X version instead of making this a game that's going to be multi-plats. Because for the next 2 goddamn years, there's going to be games that are going to be across the whole entire Xbox ecosystem. And I know they're doing this because of the Game Pass thing, but you should have set that expectation for Infinite so people can expect a build of Infinite that runs and is built for Xbox One, but will be optimized and improved and will be available on Series X sometime in 2021 once all the tweaks and operation level things and all the logistics and all that other enhancements are ready to be pushed out. And I felt that would have been the best way, but no, okay, they want to do what they want to do. That's how I feel about the whole situation. They could have handled it much better. It should have been an Xbox One game that will be available eventually through smart delivery on the Series X. Does that sound insane? No, it doesn't. It doesn't. But anyway, before I go off too far on a tangent on me being angry at Microsoft, anyway, it's like this. Back to subject on hand. Multi-plats are a big part of the ecosystem when it comes to your console gaming experience. It is. So while you're fighting amongst one another, these multi-platform companies are going to continue to just pull all types of BS on you because they realize all you care about is where you play rather than what you play. That's all. You'll put up with any of their malarkey just to say, well, it looks better on this system. Well, it looks better on this system. No, it's portable in this system. But you're not paying attention to, or you just complacent with being nickeled and dimed. But I'm not. So, anyway, y'all, because I'm a fury. I'm here and now I'm out. And for old time's sake, keep watching what you want. Keep gaming the way you want. Keep being you. But don't be a catch you next Tuesday. If you get my drift. CUNT. Peace.